In my last video, I covered a full curly hair routine for babies and toddlers. So if you're a new or seasoned parent with a curly headed baby, that video is for you. But in this video, I want to switch gears a bit and talk about something that can affect anyone buying hair products. Because if you've ever bought a product and it didn't work the way it should, or it smelled different, looked different, or just felt off, you might not be imagining it. There's a chance you bought a counterfeit product, and that's something you need to be aware of, not just for your hair, but for your health and safety as well. As prices continue to go up, a lot of people are looking for ways to save money, and that often means buying products from third-party sites at a lower price. But sometimes that lower price comes at a cost. Because the makeup industry isn't the only one dealing with counterfeit products. This has been happening in the hair industry for years as well. A lot of people don't even realize how common it is. Websites like eBay, Mercury, and even Facebook Marketplace are full of reseller listings that can seem tempting or like an easy way to save money. But this isn't just about wasting money. Counterfeit products don't go through proper safety testing, which means the ingredients and overall quality aren't always controlled. And in some cases, products have been found to contain things that shouldn't be on your scalp at all, like bacteria or other contaminants. On top of that, you also run the risk of buying a product that isn't the real formula. And that can lead to things like irritation, buildup, or results that don't match what the product is supposed to do. So knowing how to spot these products actually matters. So what are the telltale signs that the product you're about to buy is fake? Most of the time, this happens through third-party sellers, especially online. That includes platforms like Amazon, small websites, or even beauty supply stores that aren't authorized retailers. And if you're someone who shops online often, looks for deals, or likes trying new products, this is something you need to be aware of. So let's start with what to look for when you're shopping online. This is one of the biggest signs. Always check who you're buying from. If it's not the brand itself or an authorized retailer, there's a higher risk the product isn't authentic. And if you're shopping online, this is something you can actually verify in real time. For example, on Amazon, you can scroll down and check who the product is sold by and shipped by. You can also click into the brand's storefront, but even then, you still want to confirm who the seller is. The same thing applies on sites like Target and Walmart because they now allow third-party sellers on their platforms. So just because it's listed on those sites doesn't automatically mean it's coming from the brand. When in doubt, it's always safer to buy directly from the brand or a verified retailer. And if you're ever unsure, you can always reach out to the brand directly, either through social media or their contact page, and share the listing to get it verified. That's also something I try to be mindful of when linking products on my blog and Pinterest, making sure I'm directing people to authorized retailers whenever possible. Now, beyond online shopping, there's also general red flags to look out for whether you're buying online or in store. If a product is significantly cheaper than everywhere else, that's usually a red flag. Most brands keep their pricing fairly consistent across retailers. So if you're seeing a big price drop on one listing, especially from a third-party seller, there's a chance it's not the real product, or that something about it has been altered, like being expired or improperly stored. This one can be tricky because a lot of brands are constantly updating their packaging. So it's not unusual to see different designs in circulation at the same time. But if you're seeing packaging that looks very outdated, especially long after a redesign has been released, that can be a red flag. And beyond that, pay attention to the details. Things like different fonts, faded colors, missing labels, or broken seals. You'll sometimes even see reviews online where people post side-by-side comparisons showing the differences. And if you already have the product at home, you can compare it. Look at the label, the ingredients, the overall design to see if anything looks off. If you've used a product before, you'll usually notice when something feels off, whether it's a different texture, a different smell, or it just doesn't perform the same. And unless the brand has clearly announced a formula change, that's something to be cautious about. Now, it's also true that some brands quietly update their formulas. So if you're unsure, you can always reach out to the brand directly and ask for confirmation. But if something feels off and you can't verify it, it's better not to keep using it. So what should you do to avoid all of this? The safest approach is to start with the brand's website or stick to trusted retailers like Ulta or Sephora. When shopping on sites like Target or Walmart, one thing I like to do is check if the item is available for in-store pickup. If that option isn't there at all, there's a good chance you're looking at a reseller listing. Using the filter feature on a store's website like Walmart is a helpful way to narrow down the search result to products that are actually available in store. But even without using the filters, you can often tell which listings are more likely to be legitimate by looking underneath the product itself. For example, these listings show options like pick up tomorrow or delivery tomorrow, which usually indicates the item is being fulfilled directly through Walmart. Now, for this last listing, those options don't appear right away. But once I click into the product page, you can see that it's still sold and shipped directly by Walmart. And sometimes it's harder to tell when you're shopping on your phone. So if you can, it might be worth opening your cart on a desktop or laptop just to double check the details before you buy. It only takes a few extra seconds, but it can save you from buying something that isn't the real product. At the end of the day, saving a few dollars isn't worth it if the product isn't authentic or doesn't perform the way it should. This is really about protecting your hair and making sure the products you're using are actually what they claim to be. Be sure to check out my blog post on counterfeit products for more resources on how to make sure you're purchasing legitimate products. And you can also check out my Pinterest. I'll be posting new guides and ideas you can save for later. And if you've ever bought a product that felt off, feel free to share your experiences in the comments.